Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Inventor Basics. In this episode we're going to look at drawings, the drawing sheet. I've modelled up a part with some different features so we can place them onto the drawing sheet, do some dimensions so you're able to create a drawing. We'll start with new. If you go see here, drawing, I'm on metric because that's what I use, and I will use an ISO drawing and create. Now this now creates our drawing sheet. I will show how to set up the template correctly in a separate video, but for now I'm just going to show how to place the views and dimension. But if you see down here it says designed by. If we go to home, it's just got, well, not my full name. So if we go to home, tools, application options, and then here username. So if I just put I'll just put my name. Click apply. Close. If we go to the drawing sheet, we'll need to reopen it for it to update. So if we close, new, ISO, create, and then we can see now has my name. So if you want to know how to change your name, that's how to do it. Now we will place this model here, this IPT, we'll place into our drawing sheet. So to start with, we'll select base. Now because we only have this file open, it would automatically select this file. But if we close this file, I'll show you. Then we go base. We'll need to select which file we want. So if we go to, let's find which file it was in. There, so we found the IPT which loads it in. Now we have a style, which style we would like, which is hidden line removed, which we have now, and shaded. We will have we want hidden lines, and we want that because, sorry, I clicked OK, I shouldn't have clicked OK. We want it to see, as you can see there, the dashed lines show the cuts and the holes, which we want. The scale, we can change the scale to make it smaller. We'll make it a little bit smaller. Yep, that will do. Now, if I drag to the right, click, right click, shows that view. Let's just move this up here a little bit. Then if I go up, right click, it selects that view, and then just go at like a 45-degree angle, click, and then we have that view. You can move these once you've placed them. Oh, this one you can only move up and down, this one only left and right. This one you can move anywhere, but we'll keep it about there. Now these are the views that we need to dimension our part. And up here we have these features which we're going to look at to help get the views that we need, or section the views, or detail the views to make them bigger so you can see more. So we'll start with projected view. This is basically the same as the base view. This is the same, but it allows us to select a different view. So if we select this view, if we go up, it's like it's turned it on its side. Same with the other side. And as you can see, if I go up this way, you'll see the hole. So you can imagine if it's turned it on its side with the radiuses facing the bottom. Then if we go to this way, you can imagine it's turned it the other way, where the right angle edges are on the bottom, if that makes sense. Same with this way. It's like it's turned it on the bottom, and it's like it's put it on the flat where the cylinder is. So that just lets us then place different views as we did with the base view, but it lets you select any view. I'm not going to use that view, but that was just to show it. Then we have Auxilary. Now this creates a projected view perpendicular to an edge or a line in a parent view. So if we use this, for example, if we select a line, it's the same as what we've just done, but if we select a ISO view like this, select this line, this is where you can get different views, and maybe views that you'd find helpful. Personally, I don't use it a lot, but I can imagine for a lot of people it will come in handy. And if I can select any line, it doesn't have to be that one. I can select this bottom line and it will do it, or the same as on here, I can select this line, but that's the same as a projected view basically, because I've selected this line. And with a projected view it's exactly the same, so it will let me show that side or that side. That's Auxilary. Yeah, I don't really use it that often, but I can imagine a lot of people do. Section, this is very handy. So what we'll do is we'll select a view, select this view, then we'll draw a line like that, right click, continue. Now you can see it's sliced my part in half with that line, and you can see the arrows next to the A has two arrows facing right. That means that it's cut it and it's looking where them arrows are, it's looking at that face. We can change the name where the A is to view 1. The scale, we could keep the same as the original scale, or we could change to make it smaller or bigger. And then we also have the section depth, which you could change. You can see the line where the arrows are, then it has that thick black line next to it. So if we did 50, you can see what it does. It slices it at that 50, but we just want full. Actually, we'll make it bigger. We'll go 1 to 2, or is that going to be too big? Let's place that there. Move up. There we go. So we've named it. It's got the arrows. We can also flip the direction, reverse direction here. So then the arrows are now point to the left. So if you just hover over that line, right click, reverse direction, or you can edit the section properties from here as well. I'll show you, which then just takes us back to change some of these. Because if we double click on this, if we just double click on the section view we've created, it doesn't bring the options up to if you wanted to do full or distance on the section, whereas if I show you here, it now gives us that option of the depth, whereas on the other, this one it doesn't, in case you wanted to change it. Yeah, very useful. I use that quite often. The next feature we're going to look at is detail, another one I use a lot, very useful. Let's just put these in a position. I'll use the section detail on this part here. So select the view, right click, and then just pull the mouse out, and you can see it creates this circle. And then as you can see from the preview, it just takes everything in that circle and then it's going to place it on its own. And this is to get, usually to scale up basically. So we was 1 to 3. Yep. So if we wanted it 1 to 5, oh sorry, no, we're scaling up. 1 to 2, 1:1. See, now that is to scale. Just move this over here. Now this, the same, we could label it as detail view 1:1. Okay. We have this now. So now what I tend to do, which all depends on you really, but I like to section them off. So if you go to sketch, select line, just click on the drawing view, and then I like to just section all the individual parts off so I don't get confused and other people don't get confused. So we'll go on there. You don't have to do this, just what I do, so when I do my drawings for the shop floor they don't get confused. Also I'll do one just to section that off. Okay, there we go. This is what I tend to do. You don't have to, just showing you something that I do that might help you. But what I'm going to do here now is some of these are too big. If we had this as the main detail, we now can make this a little bit smaller. So I could go 1:4. Also with this as well, 1:3. Now I can just move this down a little bit, move this along, just to give me a little room for dimensioning. Right, so now we're going to go to Annotate. Now this is where we dimension our part. So if it's going to go down into the shop floor, for it to be manufactured, it needs to have all the dimensions on for them to so be able to produce it. So we'll start with dimension. Simple, just select a line, select another line. Now we have the width of that part is 100. Okay, I can do the same for this cylinder. 80mm diameter. Okay, select this line and this line, 250, and that will do to show that one. Now this cut we can show the distance between there and there inside the cut is 140. This distance is 190. Just going to move. If you drag on the number of the dimension, you can move the number like that, just so it makes it, you can see better. Also, now we can dimension the hole and the chamfer. You can do that by just like that, which will show us it's a 30mm diameter hole. But the better way to do it, the proper way to do it, is hole and thread. So if I select the hole, pull out, it gives us a 30mm diameter, which the hole is, and also the depth that hole goes. So that hole is 30mm deep. On this it goes all the way through, but on a lot of holes it won't. So that will give you the diameter and the depth, which is everything they will need to create that hole. Also, chamfer, it's the same. So if you select the chamfer line and then select a line, it could be this line or this line, select a line to calculate the angle of the fillet. This now lets us know that it's a 15mm fillet, this line here, 15mm chamfer, sorry, 15mm chamfer at 45 degrees. That's the correct way to show it. And then people on the shop floor, or whoever you send the drawings to get this made, they'll know what that means. We have yeah, we have a few other dimensions here that we'll have a quick look at. Actually, these can make things a lot easier. We'll look at baseline. All this does is measures from a baseline. Everything will be from the baseline. So select, this is the baseline. Just right clicking on the lines, right click on that line, this line and this line. You can see the turn blue. Right click, continue, and then as you can see, everything, oh, I pressed escape too early. Right click, continue, and then right click, create. Right, so as you can see, everything is dimensioned from this baseline that we selected. So this is 30mm away, this is 220, and this is 250. So that's the base. That can come in handy if you need to dimension multiple things instead of going through each one. This is what these dimensions are for. What I'm going to do actually is I'll go back so we can show ordinate. Now this select a view. This creates a datum where everything will be dimensioned from this datum. So if I put this datum here in the middle, let me just go back, I've pressed escape too early again. Put this datum in the middle, then I can select this line, and we'll go for the end one. Right click, continue, we'll go up. Again, right click, okay. So now we have this datum here that we can place anywhere. This is 95mm away, this is 125, this is 225. It's not the baseline, but you have a datum to place, because if we wanted to measure from here, we don't have a line to select as the baseline, so this just creates a datum instead, so you can do it from anywhere. So that's, again, handy if you have a lot that you want to measure from a point, basically. Right, the last one is chain. This one's comes in used quite a lot, as you'll see why. So again, select the lines that you need. We've gone blue, right click, continue, come down, right click, create. So this one just dimensions in between the lines you select, which is very useful, because if I was going to dimension the width of these two, the width of the hole, the cutout that we're going to do, then back to the width of the end of the block, I'd do 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimensions. Whereas that is just 4 clicks, right click, create, done. So that's a lot. That's really useful. What else? Text. We could have a look at text, which is if you want to add some text to your drawing. Maybe quantity. I'll just do it as quantity for the minute. So just text, right click, drag, box, and then we just come into this part. We'll just do I'll just do QTY equals 12, and then we'll do it at a size 6. See if that's too big. No, and that's it. Nice and simple. The text, and you can drag it wherever you like. And you could do text with a leader, just to point to a position. We'll just do it to here. Point and drag. Click to set that line. Click to set this line, and then right click, continue. Same. Let's just do view. View of top. It doesn't really matter what it is. Again, we can change this to 6mm. That's text 6, and then we have an arrow just to show, and you can move about where you like. What I am also going to show as well, I've just thought, is on this detailed view we have these dotted lines, which hopefully you understand drawings, and hopefully you understand that because we can't see the cuts that are in this detailed view, these lines just show where the cuts are. So these lines, so if we dimensioned here to here, it'd be 30 mil. Because it says it's here, it's 30 mil. Hopefully you understand drawings. So this just shows that you can dimension the dotted lines as well. So if I wanted to dimension here, it's 30, and then the distance between is going to, well, we've not got a distance between because the detail's not big enough, but you can also dimension on a detail the dotted lines, and the same with a section view. We know this will be 140, sorry. So even though we've created these other views, we still can dimension from them. And that's the basics of drawing. We also have, also one other thing that I have, two other things I haven't done, well I remember, is one, the radius I haven't done here, which I'll do in a second, but also this is a little sort of trick I suppose that took me a while to realise. It shows a radius here, but it doesn't show where the top of it ends, which I used to work a lot. I work a lot with sheet metal, and it used to do the same. Show the radius, but it doesn't show where it starts or ends. It used to frustrate me. But if you not on this one, sorry. If you double click on the view, the base view that you originally created, and go to display options, then click tangent edges, OK. That then just shows a little bit more detail, which I find helps. Then if we go to dimension, I didn't dimension a radius, so we just select the radius, pull out 8mm radius. Yeah, this should be. I just wanted to show basics. I never want to go too far into stuff because I don't want it to be a massive learning curve. Like, you know, I don't want to try and put too much information into a video. You know, it's just the basics. If you've never done drawings before, just the basics to get you going, and you could create a drawing like this now, where you could put it down to the shop floor, and people could read it and be able to do it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and comment on any ways to improve or any videos you'd like to see. Thank you.